Let's go.
Starting it off, we have Illinois against Drexel, the 1 seed against the 16 seed. The line is 22.5. The total there is 143.5. Jeff, are you taking the Drexel Dragons to become the second ever 16 seed to be the number 1 seed? Go.
I'm not. And I'm going to take Illinois and lay the points with this one. I just think Illinois is going to overpower them in every single department. They're rolling right now. They're feeling good about themselves. They've been on a mission, and I think they continue to stay on a mission and blow out Drexel.
Yeah, so Illinois played 3 mid-major teams this year. One of those teams had Jason Preston, an NBA player, on it, and they won by 2. The other 2, they won by 60. I'm not exaggerating. They won by 60 points. So I'm going to go with Illinois in the spot. It just feels like something where they can kind of run through Drexel. And just think about this for a second. Drexel makes their first NCAA tournament, and we got a guest on the stream right now. My daughter just walked into the office. Drexel makes their first NCAA tournament since 1996, and what do they get rewarded with? Kofi Coburn and Ayo Dosunmu.
I like that, Darren Darcy. Illinois already up 22-4.
Yep. All right, come here.
All right, she's coming up. She's going to pick.
The next one we have is Loyola Chicago against Georgia Tech. Moses Wright, obviously not playing. Who do you like? Georgia Tech? Georgia Tech, Loyola? Okay, go get my mom. Go get mommy. Oh, sorry about that.
I would I'll
Loyola
go with
Loyola's now laying 4.5 against Georgia Tech. So go. Who do you like?
I would go with I'd go with Loyola. I go with Loyola now without Moses Wright. I just feel like they've been there, done that. Georgia Tech, like they had it going with momentum and everything, but you lose the ACC Player of the Year now and have to kind of alter everything you do now against a big guy in Cameron Krautwig who can absolutely like tear you apart in every way. Yeah, I'm taking Loyola.
Yeah, I think I still kind of like Georgia Tech here. What my plan is going to be for this game is to kind of let that line keep building up. It's at 5.5 now. Actually, I'm sorry. I took my notes last night, and it's already moved from when the news broke. It went from 2.5 to 4.5 immediately, and now it's 5.5. So I'm going to let it keep climbing up. I'm going to take Georgia Tech. I'm going to bet on Jose Alvarado. I'm going to bet on Michael DeVoe. I'm going to bet on those guards, and just say that I don't think that the Valley was all that good this year. And time to move on. What do we got next, Jeff?
Right.
The 5-12 game in the Midwest. We have Tennessee laying 7.5 points against number 12 seed Oregon State. Oregon State has covered in 15 of their last 18 games, Jeff.
Wow.
In Tennessee, we know you don't like the Vols, so what do you got? Let's go.
You picked against the Vols. You're going to take Oregon State. You picked against the Vols, I think, straight up, didn't you? You took Oregon State.
No, well, I took Oregon State to cover. They've covered 15 of their last 18 games. Like, so I'm going to take them to cover. I don't know if they can win, but I'm taking them to cover. So,
all right, I kind of agree with you. I just don't know if Tennessee is capable of blowing anybody out. Like if Keon Johnson and I just don't. Yeah, I just don't have any confidence they can blow anybody out and pull away from anybody. I think they'll win the grinder game.
Yeah, and the big thing with them is it feels like if one thing goes wrong in a game, then everything just starts crumbling and collapsing. I don't know if they have they need more leadership. I don't know if they have the mental toughness to be able to handle that. They don't have like a go-to guy. They don't really have an alpha, and especially with John Fulkerson out, assuming that he doesn't end up playing. I like Oregon State there. Next up, we have Oklahoma State laying 7.5. Against number 13 seed Liberty. That total there is 140.5. What do you like there?
Oklahoma State. Liberty's done an incredible job. Richie McKay's been great, but we got to remember how much he lost last year. This isn't the same team that was going to go to the tournament last year with I think 5 seniors. Those guys left. This is a new group, and they've got a different roles, and they've done well in their league, but they're late this year. I'm going Oklahoma State to overwhelm them. Not even with Cade. Like, obviously, Cade is a 6'8" point guard. Good luck. But more than that, everybody else.
I actually really like Liberty here getting the points. Liberty plays a pack line. Everyone knows what a pack line does. It cuts off drives to the rim and forces you to take jump shots over the top. Oklahoma State's offense is kind of built around this idea that you have guys that can slash to the rim. They don't have great shooters. The other part of it is that Liberty runs really, really good offense. They're very efficient. They shoot a ton of threes, and they hit them at a 40% clip. Like I think this matchup.
You know how big Darius McGee is? He's
not big at all, but it's
like 5'8".
It's a lot of points per game that's going to not going to have a lot of possessions. No, I get it. It's a lot of points per game that's not going to have a lot of possessions. So I think I like Liberty there. All right. Next up, San Diego State laying 3. The total there is 139.5 against number 11 seed Syracuse. What do you got?
I have the Orange. I think the Orange are going to win this game. I just feel like Syracuse, they've got talent. I mean, you never know what you're going to get out of Boeheim's team. I mean, they're up and down, but usually tournament time, they find a way, and they've got talent. We know that. You got Buddy and Gerard, and front court's not what it usually is, but they've got a lot of good players. They just don't have a great player. So I'd take Syracuse on this one. I'll take the money line.
Yeah, I like Syracuse. I like the money line here. This is what they do. They get in the tournament and they start beating people. I got some stats for you. You ready, Jeffrey? San Diego State this year ranks 91st percentile against man-to-man defenses. They've seen 270-something possessions of zone defense this season, and they rank in the 79th percentile in offensive efficiency against zone defenses. So not as good against the zone. That's what zones do. They mess you up. They take you out of your rhythm. Bet on the Cuse, baby. Jim Boeheim.
All right.
Next up, we have West Virginia laying 13 against number 14 seed Morehead State, the Fighting Preston Spradlins. Jeffrey, how do you feel about this matchup?
I like Preston, what he's done. We had him on our show recently. They're really good defensively. They rebound the ball well. Like I like them. I just don't know if they're going to be able to stop West Virginia. I just think West Virginia's got a potent offense from so many different spots. I want to listen. The Broom kid's awesome. I mean, he is. He's awesome, and I think he'll be a tough matchup for some of those West.
Yeah, he's going to get beaten up by Derek Culver. And here's the thing:
Culver, you don't know what you get. You just still don't know what you're going to get.
Yeah, but the point you made at the start was the most important one here. Is that Morehead State has built everything that they do around their defense. I don't think that they can stop. They don't have the horses to stop West Virginia. And the most important thing here is that Morehead State is 332nd nationally in turnover rate. West Virginia, hold on. Not as great as they've been defensively, but they still force a ton of turnovers. And I think that they're just going to wear down Morehead State here. I really like West Virginia in the spot. I think that they can win by 20. Okay. Next up is the least enticing game in the history of NCAA tournament play.
You could be right.
We have Rutgers laying 2 against number 7 seed Clemson. Rutgers has gone 8-10 in 2021. Clemson has gone 7-6 since they came off their pause. I don't think Ron Harper Jr. has remembers how to play basketball. Clemson we thought was going to be awesome for a while. They are not. So, Jeffrey, what do you like here about other than hoping this game is on True TV?
Yeah, it's not going to be the prettiest of games, that's for damn sure. But I feel like still I kind of remember, like it's not completely out of my memory when Rutgers was really good and Ron Harper was making shots. And Miles Johnson was doing what he does inside, and again, Clemson had their stretch too. I mean, both of them were really good early, and then they both kind of fell off and have been largely irrelevant, and had their share of kind of wins down the street. So I'm going Rutgers.
Yeah, I'm going Rutgers here too, and the analysis to me is pretty simple. One team plays in the Big Ten. One team plays in a mid-major league. It's really just that simple. When high majors play against mid-major programs, you got to take the high major team. So, and the other part of it is like, look, Rutgers has really, really good guards. They haven't shot it great of late, but they have really, really good guards. And moving on, Houston is taking on number 15 seed Cleveland State. That line is 20.5. That totals 135. Jeff, I got a strong take on this one. Can I lead it off?
Go ahead.
So there's three things that I really kind of look at when it comes to trying to figure out if there's a side that I want to bet. One of them is matching up rebounding rates. One of them is matching up turnover rates. And one of them is matching up whether or not you foul a lot and if teams hit free throws. Yeah. Houston, second nationally in offensive rebounding. Cleveland State outside the top 300 in defensive rebounding. Houston forces a ton of turnovers. Cleveland State has spent most of the season throwing the ball to teams that wear different jerseys than what they do. Houston fouls a ton. Cleveland, like they give up more free throws than like all but like 15 teams. Cleveland State shoots 60-something% from the line. I think it's 66% from the line. So when all of those things line up, give me the team that's on the right side of it. So Houston minus 20.5. You got anything to say against me? Sorry, I took up the whole minute there.
No, you're good. Listen, Cleveland State doesn't shoot the ball well. Period. They're kind of a grinded out team, a toughness team, and that's what Houston is, unfortunately. And they're just more talented and can score, not at a high clip, but can score enough. So no, I'm going Houston.